We live with these people. Like, we walk side by side with them. We like breathe their air. This is like what we do. Is I'm gonna go talk about Jeff Bezos's divorce, find his dick pic, and then try to get money out of him for it. Like, what kind of scummy people are these? So somebody tell me what is going on with Jeff Bezos and the National Enquirer and American Media Incorporated, and why am I being told that I want to see a picture of his bulge?
Okay, so this is a very twisty story, and I love everybody's name in it, because Bezos sounds like a clown, and then you have Pecker, who owns American Media Incorporated, so AMI, which owns the National Enquirer, and then Pecker is alleging or he wants to release, Bezos's dick pic. So everybody just has amazing names in this. So it starts with National Enquirer releasing text messages between Bezos and his mistress, I believe. And this is about the time when he's announcing his divorce. And he's a little miffed that his private messages got published. And so he hires a guy, Gavin de Becker, not de Pecker, de Becker with a B, and says, look, I'm the richest guy in the world. Whatever budget you need, go investigate how they got a hold of my text messages and find out why did they do this? Is it just because I'm the richest guy in the world or what? So Gavin de Becker goes and he starts uncovering some interesting connections between David Pecker and Saudi Arabia. So why would that matter at all? Well, Jeff Bezos owns part of the Washington Post, who has been very eagerly investigating the killing of the journalist Khashoggi.
Khashoggi, very close.
Okay. And so there's some hints at a conspiracy that because this makes Trump look bad and Pecker is a very close personal friend of Trump, that maybe Pecker's involved in this, in trying to get take Bezos down a notch. So Gavin de Becker collects this evidence that says that there's a connection between Pecker and Saudi Arabia. This could link back to the president. So then Bezos gets a letter from the council at AMI, so American Media Incorporated, saying that they have more text messages from him. They have images, which includes a dick pic. And they are offering to not publish the dick pic if Bezos will publicly state that he has no evidence that ties Pecker to Saudi Arabia, which Bezos has publicly said that he does. So it sounds a little bit like extortion at this point, especially because in the proposed quote-unquote settlement agreement, that if Bezos ever went back on his word and that he did say that there was connections there, that they had the right to publish his dick. Bezos also, oddly enough, has a copyright thing saying you can't publish my dick pic because I own the copyright to it because I took it. And so he says, I'll sue you if you publish my dick pic. So he did not like Bezos, the richest guy in the world right now, I believe, did not like being quote unquote extorted. I don't know if it meets the legal definition of extorted. So he said, you know what? I own a stake in the Washington Post, and I really encourage them to go out and find the truth. And I don't want to give in to blackmail. And so I'm just going to put it out there and I'm going to let everybody know about all of this backroom dealing because I want people to understand what's happening. And he kind of, in a sense, challenges the National Enquirer to go ahead and print his dick pic because he's more interested in people understanding what's happening than in protecting his privacy.
And if he didn't come forward with this, no one would ever know. So how many times do you think something like this happens and we don't ever find out about it? I'm going to guess a lot. And I'm going to guess that this is kind of what the National Enquirer does, is they generate a story and then approach the person and say, hey, if you pay us X amount of dollars, we won't publish the story, thereby giving the newspaper / media company, more revenue. So maybe they don't make that much money off of any one story in their actual print tabloid or online, whatever, advertising. But maybe getting $100,000 from Jeff Bezos would be a decent payday. The way extortion works, it's one thing if you have, say, a story and you know, we're going to publish this story. We've researched this story. It's factually accurate, whatever. And if you would like us to not publish this story, we're willing to accept this amount of money. It's not extortion when the threatener already, when the threat is connected to something the threatener is already entitled to. So the example here in one of the articles was that if someone threatened a bad Yelp review, if a manufacturer didn't honor their warranty on some item that they purchased, that the threatener purchased, that's fine. That's not extortion. You can threaten to leave a bad review. You can threaten to return your product. You can threaten to tell the world how you don't like the company, as long as you have a right to the underlying thing. So like you bought a product from the company, and so you're saying honor the warranty or else. Here it's a little bit more tenuous. We're going to publish the story if you don't pay us. Well, they do have a right to publish the story, but now here they're saying we're going to publish the photos or else. Well, do you have a right to publish the photos? So yeah, photographs are owned by the person who took them. So assuming for the moment that the person who took them is Jeff Bezos or someone on his side of things, the American Media Institute or whatever it is, National Enquirer, can't just publish the photographs. It has to be for some fair use purpose, which can include news reporting. However, news reporting is reporting on facts. So are you going to try and say that it's a fair use to just publish a photo and say, hey, look, this is the photo that's involved in the dispute? It's not a fair use. You have to be offering some kind of commentary on it. It has to be truly newsworthy. And so Jeff Bezos' position is that it's not truly newsworthy because they aren't publishing it to say, here's a photograph that supports our story or something. They're saying rather, here is the photograph that is the story. They would need to license that normally. So it'll be a giant fair use fight on, at least in part, because that'll be what AMI argues if they get sued, if they publish the photos and get sued. However, if they publish the photos, or even now, even just as the case stands, because they made the threat, if there is not a fair use or some other right, then yeah, it's extortion. And they've tried to extort Jeff Bezos, who happens to have the resources to investigate and fight an extortion scheme. So there you have it. That's how you get to extortion, is when you're asking for something that you never had a right to in the first place. So again, if I had a product and I'm trying to quote unquote extort something out of the manufacturer because they won't honor their warranty, and the thing I want to extort is please honor your warranty, that's fine. But if I want to get 20 new free products from the company in order to not publish a bad review, and I didn't buy a product, I don't have the right to review the product because I didn't buy one, forgetting the complications there that you can still review a product even if you didn't buy it. But, then you don't have the right, and then it is extortion. Also, like, what kind of shitty people do this shit? Like, what is this? We live with these people, like we walk side by side with them. We like breathe their air. This is like what we do is I'm going to go talk about Jeff Bezos' divorce, find his dick pic, and then try to get money out of him for it. Like, what kind of scummy, shitty people are these?
So an interesting twist to this is that AMI and Pecker have a non-prosecution agreement with the FBI in relation to their testimony about Trump as part of the Mueller investigation. But I believe that non-prosecution agreement is predicated on them not committing any crimes or not being involved in any other quote unquote shady dealings. And so if their offer to Bezos, like if you lie and say that you didn't find what you find, or what you found. And like, if you say that, then we won't publish your pics. If that counts as extortion or blackmail or anything like that, it could put the non-prosecution agreement in danger.
Yeah, so they're walking on thin ice. When you're walking on eggs, don't hop.
Yeah, according to chat here, apparently the agreement supposedly says that they can't commit any crimes for 3 years after the deal. So if this counts as criminal, we could be seeing a lot of problems for this company.
Anybody remember what movie that quote was from? When you're walking on eggs, don't hop. It was kind of a stupid, cheesy quote, but it was a good movie. Blue Thunder.
Oh yeah, Blue Thunder. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was an awesome movie. It stays up too. Like it holds up. It's not just a stupid helicopter movie. It actually kind of holds up. I mean, I don't need to be persuaded to watch anything. You can basically just get me to watch any tank or helicopter movie in existence. It doesn't have to be any good. But this one actually is good. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. That is our show. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. This is a community-supported channel. Your money helps us pay for the expenses of the channel. Brandon is now being paid as our editor. Tactical is being paid as our researcher. None of us are making $1 million off of this. We are just using it to offset our expenses, the time that we spend on the show. When I'm busy, Brandon can do all the editing. When I'm not busy, Brandon can do all the editing, and I'll just check it then. And it's great. This is an organization that is growing, and if I have my way, very shortly here, I'll be hiring our tax accountant to start structuring this whole thing in a more 501c3 friendly way, and we'll see if we can't get approved for 501c3. So thank you to all of our supporters in February, especially John Doe, John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Eevi, Andy, Kyle Mudrak, Verement, Tayne, Michael Pearce, Terry Crisp, Richard Fournier, Spirit Bear, Jan Negrey, Daniel Perez, and Jacob Papenfuss. You are all supporting us at the $50 level, and I am very grateful for your support. Thank you very much to the $5 plus supporters who are scrolling on the LED panel behind me, and Brandon will add you during the crawl. I am off to pack for Scotland. I'm going to go visit my dogs for one last time. They're with my parents before I go visit for a week, and of course I'll see everybody when I get back too. But I'll shoot some video of the dogs and see if we can't have some of that included in the videos that drop as well. So love you all. Have a great week. I'll see you in the stories. Don't forget you can join our Discord channel if you want to have interactive discussions in various topics, including those of law, things we talk about on the channel, and off topics. Don't forget that you can tag me on Discord and add stories to our stories bin through Discord as well. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week from Scotland. Love you all. I am Leonard French, and I'll see you next week.